Could have a new ambulance service at the start of the new year. Today, the city making the announcement that it wants to contract with a different company than AMR. Noah Noble has been following this story closely for months and has details on this developing story. So, Noah, what is the latest?
Yeah, Hugh, Pafford EMS is a name that Biloxians could soon see on ambulances across the city. That's because Biloxi wants that company to handle emergency medical calls instead of AMR. This is the first city to make an announcement of a new emergency medical company handling these calls. You'll remember Biloxi and Gulfport both created their own EMS districts to break away from Harrison County's coverage with AMR. Biloxi's Fire Chief Nick Geiser told me that they're excited about this proposed contract because it could possibly revolutionize the way emergency medical calls are handled in the city.
Pafford, just gave us the best proposal that we felt would provide the best service for, not only our citizens, but for the many visitors that come to our city day in and day out.
So, what is that proposal that has the city so interested?
It's almost going to be a public-private partnership with the ambulance service embedding into our fire stations. We'll have that unit sitting at a station, which will help with our training, our integration on scene and off scene. Could essentially help us with the wear and tear on these very expensive fire trucks, where some of these calls that aren't necessarily life-threatening calls, we don't have to roll one of our engines or ladder trucks to it. It will be the ambulance service running to it with us as a support system.
Chief Geiser also says the city will have more control on how many ambulances are dedicated to helping Biloxi's medical emergencies compared to its current agreement with Harrison County and AMR.
Theirs is more of a rotating system, whereas this will, we'll be able to lay eyes on the ambulances. They'll be returning to those stations, so we'll have a good idea of where everybody is and be able to work with them and support each other, in our opinion, a lot better. Any given time, we'll at least have 6 emergency ambulances in place, and then part of their proposal was actually to have a separate system for non-emergency transport.
He also points to the fact that Pafford EMS is based in Mississippi, with corporate headquarters just 160 miles north near Jackson.
Most of the corporate folks actually live right there, so they're 2.5 hours away. They're a Mississippi company, so we were really excited about having, something that was homegrown. And then they will have basically an office down here for, operating out of.
And the proposal will go before Biloxi City Council on December 19th. If approved, Pafford will have about 30 days to get ambulance service up and running. Chief Geiser assured me that during that time, AMR will continue serving Biloxi to make sure there's no lapse in coverage. The finer details, like how many paramedics and EMTs will be on shift, are going to be decided in the final contract.
So Biloxi not the only ones exploring a potential change, Noah. Both Gulfport and Harrison County are also looking at possibly changing coverage from AMR. Do we know where they are in that process?
Yeah, both of them are still out for proposals on EMS companies, so they're still deciding if they want to stay with AMR or if they want to go with a different company. The contract with AMR expires at the start of the new year, so they decided to extend it for another month just in case they don't have a decision made by that time. Hugh?
Okay, Noah, so it's a story we'll continue following. AMR responding tonight as well, telling us, quote, American Medical Response has faithfully served the Mississippi Gulf Coast communities for nearly 50 years. And we are disappointed to no longer be serving the citizens of Biloxi, but remain open to working with the City of Biloxi and their newly chosen provider to ensure anyone with an emergency receives an appropriate ambulance response. For AMR's full response, you can go to WLOX.com.